Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Those of us who watch our channel on a regular basis might have seen our videos from last year where we did some photo builds. And in this picture you are looking at the Ford Bronco we have made. And I've made a photo build of this based on a few snaps, only a few, from the, might I say, legendary Chevrolet Blazer from the Stranger Things set. And now we finally have the set, so it is time to compare those designs. With a big shout out to Justin Ramsden. Justin Ramsden is the designer or the lead designer, I don't know exactly, from the team that made the entire set from Lego Stranger Things. And part of the set is this awesome Chevy Blazer from the legendary Hawkins PD sheriff. I think his name was I don't know, what is his name? Yeah, I looked that one up. It is of course Chief Hopper. And yeah, I watched the series. I watched the series only because Lego made the Stranger Things set and I really liked the design of the buildings and also the car. So I'm not one of those guys who didn't watch the show. Okay. Anyway, like I said in the intro, I designed a car based on photos of this one of the set, because we didn't have the set at the time. And now we do, and we also made this little Chevy Blazer. And for those of you who remember the 80s, when you say Chevy Blazer, in your mind also pictures of the Ford Bronco appear. And when I was photo building this one, this was the outcome. And I was well aware that the proportions on some level are not completely similar. Like for instance, the hood is a one stop longer. So, to not spoil this being a Chevy Blazer, I named my own design the Ford Bronco. And I think it would be really cool to just make this little video about comparing those two cars. So, let's start with the outside. Of course, my Ford Bronco or Blazer copy, which is only based on a few photos, isn't a police car. So on the top he only has this little 80s Lego antenna, which I think is well, kind of cool for the era. You might have noticed they have the same type of what do you call them? It's not a rear window, right? That should be in the middle. Side mirrors, yeah, they have the same side mirrors. And if we compare the front, you can see I did succeed, based on only a few photos, to make sure there's some bumper part hanging in front of the front lights. But what I didn't know, and haven't got a good look at the picture from those photos I used, here it is touching the underside of the front light, and with my photo build design it isn't touching it. So that's a bit different. They have the same type of grille whereas the design from the Justin Ramsden team has a little bit of overlay or overhang here. I don't know if the camera can focus. Yeah. So you see here it sticks out a little bit, the hood of the car, and with this Bronco I made, it is exactly the opposite. So the grille is sticking out a little bit opposed to that front. Now I think on the sides of the car, yeah, I thought so. They both have this two-tone look, right? Where this has the lighter brown and the sand yellow. Mine is gray with dark brown, which is kind of a color from that era. I didn't have enough bricks to prevent this from happening. But this one is dark brown and bluish gray. And it is one row of plates higher than the Chevy Blazer from the Justin Ramsden team. So that's a bit of a difference. Now both vehicles have those 80s square shaped wheel gaskets, and they both have this well, to slope to the inside, yeah, this little ledge. You can also see that over here. So fronts differ a bit, and also the sides. And of course here is a sticker that makes the shape of the panel window complete, and I don't have a sticker here because I don't have those in doubles. Now to compare the back, they both have rear windows. This one is a little bit bigger, and they both have those square rear tail lights. The bumpers differ, and mine has a big exhaust, as you can tell, and also something to attach at the back, like a trailer or something. And I used this pretty old, I think it's a 90s piece. Like I use these as for the top of cars, and really funny feature, this window opens a little bit, but I use that for the rear, so you would have a boot that opens and closes with the brownish color continuing, so that's kind of nice. And this one doesn't open. Now there's a little difference you can tell at the front. As you can see, Hopper is sitting exactly in the middle of his car, like he should, because it's a Lego vehicle. And with my design, my driver is sitting kind of offset to the left, where the steering wheel would be. And when we look on the inside, we will see more about that. And another difference is the hood of my design, or yeah, the entire front. No, the hood of my design is able to come off, and then you have this sort of engine-like resemblance, which I think is kind of nice. Now, when I was building the design of Justin Ramsden's team, I already saw it in the photos that those panels from the center of the hood are just half a bit higher than the rest. And when I was building my own, I wasn't able to copy that. I didn't have the techniques right. But when I finally got the set, it turned out to be a really complex build with snot techniques, which I did expect, but I didn't achieve it for myself. So Justin, kudos for that. totally cool. And something which I forgot to mention is the difference here. This one has two of those radiator tiles, which are the glowing ones, and I only had one, so place it there in the middle. I removed the roofs of both cars so we can compare them on the inside. And maybe something which also kind of belongs to this part of the video, I guess. I did have one view at how this was made, because it was built by Dr. McBrick, which had a live stream when he was building this one. And one of the things I thought was really cool is that the back windows could open like this. And I actually succeeded when I was photo building this one last year to also make that technique happen. And of course the fact that my driver is sitting a bit offset makes that this window doesn't open that far, but it does open. I'm really curious actually if the designer actually meant this to be able to work like this. I think he did, because those 80s vehicles did have windows like that pop open a bit, so you would have the air stream like here and it wouldn't blow into the car. Now, to compare those insides, of course I already mentioned that my driver is sitting kind of offset. And to start off with the back, here's of course the pumpkin, which has a resemblance to the series, and this will be the inside without any accessories on the back. So it has one tile with a centered stud, and for the rest it's kind of a small booth. Now, I didn't know how this was made, so when I was bricking this, I bricked my own booth, and I got some more of a smooth floor, I guess. Smooth all the way. Brown here to make sure the color from the outside is still intact. And with only two of those centered studs, I'm able to, for instance, place this little moving box yeah, to place it in a way like this, alright? So I think that gives it a really realistic look. And my center piece is a bit more higher and attached with a different technique. I placed the clips here on the floor of the car, and with Hopper's car they are here, but the technique is kind of the same. Now let me remove Hopper and the other driver. Oh yeah, that's something. This is the first Lego vehicle in which the person sitting inside, or in this case the minifigure Hopper, doesn't have a stud to attach on. So if you would play feature this one and you have Hopper sitting inside and you're playing the car crashing, then it will fly all through the car. And they made it like this, of course, to be able to attach the car to the set, because this is the hole where you place it in, so when you have the upside down turned upside down, it would be still hanging on the set. So that's a concession. I really understand that they did it like that. For the rest, the interior is quite simple, just a steering wheel and some nice smooth ledges here, which could, with a bit of imagination, be really like 80s car seat leather. It's kind of cool. Now, when we remove the driver from this Ford Bronco, we have a bit more interior, as you can tell. We have the steering wheel sitting offset to the left. There's a grill piece which I placed with a snot technique over there, and this resembles kind of the front, the dashboard. And there's a little hand brake which could be used manually, which I think is really cool. It's not an interior which could fit 2 minifigures in front, but I think it's a bit more detailed, so I like that a lot. Now, as for which I was really anxious to do, now that I have them both, I'm able to compare heights and such. And as you can see, they only have 1 plate of difference in height with the roof off, and that difference in height is also on the front of the car. So everywhere this is only 1 plate higher than this one. So I got really close on bricking it kind of in the same way, which I think is really nice based on only a few pictures. And I think the wheels, I got lucky with having these tires, so those are the same as well. And for the rest, the details like the indicator lights and such, I managed to integrate that all over. So, oh yeah, and I think my detailed rear is kind of the same way, as in if you would put detailing on a scale from 1 to 10. I think they're both detailed on 8, but just differently. So, and when you put on the roofs, that difference of 1 plate or stud higher kind of still is there. Well, I think the, yeah, can I see it like this? Yeah. So the height of the lights are the same as the height of the center of the roof I made. So that's kind of cool too. Now, it's up to you guys. Which design do you think is more, I don't know, more to your liking or more to your play feature preferences? I don't know. It's up to you. This is kind of a Justin Ramsden versus Jack Brick, right? Kind of cool to do a video like this. So, to end it, another shout out, Justin Ramsden, awesome design. Also to your team, really cool. Also the houses of the Stranger, I think said, I really liked them. Thanks for that one. This is a public service announcement brought to you in part by Jack Brick. If you like our videos, subscribe and hit on that bell so you'll be sure you are not going to miss out on our next video. See you in Brixton.